StarCraft. It's a game. It's an RTS game. Now, it's an MMO. What? Yes. So, I forget what the company's exact name was. So basically, these dudes, they were like, yo, I love StarCraft. I love MMOs. Why don't we combine both of those? And this is the product of that. So, this is StarCraft Universe. It is... You have to own... Do you have to own StarCraft? I think you have to own StarCraft. Which, I mean, is like nothing. It's like StarCraft is what, $10 these days? And you get StarCraft on top of it. And I should specify StarCraft 2. So you go to StarCraft 2, and in the arcade section, you'll find
this is your designated class mentor.
A whole bunch of games.
You can return
And, well, I should say a whole bunch of like mods, I should say. And one of those mods is this game, StarCraft Universe. And what it does, it doesn't... Most of the StarCraft 2 mods are usually just kind of like simple stories and objectives and what have you, based on the StarCraft 2 map editor or whatever it has. But this goes a step beyond and like changes the formula in a crazy way. So I should preface everything I say by saying I think it's amazing what they've done here. Being able to take StarCraft 2 and bird's eye view RTS game and to turn it into an MMO was just phenomenal. It's like so much creativity and work went into this. It's absolutely incredible. That being said, I don't think this is a good MMO. So, like, kudos to, like, you know, being able to turn, like I said, the RTS into an MMO. That's amazing. I love seeing this kind of stuff. But as we'll see here over the course of the next, I don't know, 10 minutes, I did not enjoy this game. I did not enjoy this experience. So I should say this absolutely is not worth checking out if you are not, well, one, if you don't own StarCraft, and two, if you don't care for StarCraft's like lore and characters and story and all that. So I'm not entirely sure like how canon all this is. I'm pretty sure it's not like in the slightest, but because it's not officially endorsed by Blizzard. At least I'm almost entirely certain of that. But they kind of continue off where I think the main story left off, which, I mean, I wouldn't be able to... I couldn't tell you what that is. I didn't finish the third expansion, only up to the second one. But yeah, it has all the characters from the series. I think I read on a forum that one of the main voice actors is also a part of this project, which is cool. And it has like cinematics and a whole bunch of dialogue and text and, you know, scenes where characters are moving around and you know, what a MMO style thing. So this game is pretty much, it is a regular MMO like World of Warcraft, except worse in most aspects. Which, I mean, it's kind of hard to beat World of Warcraft, but I just feel like when I was playing this, why don't I just play World of Warcraft? That's just what it felt like to me. I didn't like, and I'm kind of torn between wanting. So the fundamentals of like the gameplay, right? And like what we're doing, it just kind of feels like I'm a pawn. Like I'm actually one of those units, you know, like a overseer is controlling. I'd feel like I'm moving from unit to unit, auto-attacking, and then every once in a while using an ability, but usually it doesn't even feel like it's necessary. I just feel like, right, at least in this mission, it's only about just doing what I was doing in StarCraft, but on a micromanaging level, which was very interesting. And I should say the controls are actually really awful. Like I said, like it's cool that they were able to take the StarCraft 2 and turn it into the MMO, but at the same time, when you don't build the mechanics from the ground up, there's going to be a lot of issues, and one of those issues is the controls feel awful. Like moving around feels bad. It's like it's so floaty. Like I press the button and then like half a second later I actually move instead of instantly, and it feels really bad. It's like it's supposed to be like an action MMO, but it's not very actiony, and it doesn't feel, the controls aren't very tight. Like if you play Guild Wars 2, right? That is the epitome of every action MMORPG. That's what every action MMORPG should be aiming for. And this game is like half that in terms of the controls. So there's like a whole bunch of like items and, you know, back end stat lines and all that. I don't find that stuff interesting, and I don't think they've gone out of their way to make it interesting in this game. And like you start off with like a whole bunch of abilities, which doesn't really make sense to me. And like most of those abilities don't even like do anything. I'm a major component of fewer abilities, bigger effects, not just a whole bunch of abilities and they do nothing. Guild Wars 2 is actually pretty bad about this. A lot of the classes just have like a bunch of useless abilities, like, oh, you poison the enemy for 5 damage. Like, who cares? And actually, a lot of games don't do that very well, do they? I'll let this scene play out.
This thing's in pretty bad shape, Vorian. Can you still extract the visual log?
Yes, but it may take some time.
Get on it then. Vorian, are these?
Yes, these look like Eon crystals. It seems this observer was transporting them for some reason.
Whoa, Ultralisk. That's from the game. Whoa.
Just be a few more.
So, like, going back to what I was saying earlier about feeling like a pawn, this is just like more of that. We're just a bunch of characters grouping up on one enemy and just killing it, right? Doing nothing else, really. I didn't feel like, so you can choose from a bunch of different characters. I'm pretty sure you can pick a Terran. I'm not exactly sure on that. I'm not sure. I completely forget. If I had to guess, I would say you can only pick the Protoss, and the story revolves around Protoss. But then there is a Terran back there, so I don't know. I think the story revolves around the Protoss, but you can pick a Terran if you want. And the different kinds of like Terran and Protoss. I don't believe you can pick anything the Swarm though, which wouldn't make sense, I guess, lore-wise within this universe. Not this universe, but this story in particular, this narrative. So that's, I mean, without like this, and I should say this is not a full review of this expansion, 'cause, it probably goes pretty long, but my first impressions of this game are definitely not hot. I think if you like StarCraft, you'll probably get a kick out of it, at least for a while. I think the MMO mechanics behind it are too complicated to be. They're too needlessly complicated behind like an IP that's already established. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't feel like it having a whole bunch of abilities and equipment and stuff. I don't feel like it's doing anything for the game, except to make me feel lost.